What's up, everyone? It's your boy Circus. So, just got out of the theater, so I'm gonna be doing my fresh off the dome, fresh off the top, pause of Fantastic Four. And what I can say is, I really like this movie. It has its flaws. I'm gonna go through the flaws. It's probably gonna be a quick one because I can make it quick with this. But it's a good movie. It wasn't as woke as what people were saying. It wasn't that woke. So whoever said that Sue Storm's going to be the front face and center, you see why she is, because they make Pedro Pascal as good as Mr. Fantastic. He is. I still can't see it. It's got to grow on me but the way he acts and the way he talks is definitely Mr. Fantastic. Joseph Quinn as Human Torch. They nailed it with this team. We finally got the Fantastic Four team that is the Fantastic Four. You got the family elements. You know what I mean? She's There's a lot of questionable decisions in here, though. It really nailed it with them. And I don't know. I'm torn between some, but I really like Ben Grimm. And I liked and this is going to have spoilers in it. I liked how he coped with it more, because in the other movies you see they're kind of like broken, the people that play Ben Grimm and stuff. But he's already got he's sad that he looks like that, but he's freaking hilarious, straight up hilarious. The 1960s, right? Aesthetic worked, futuristic. It looked like the damn Jetsons. It was so. The sets were beautiful. The cars were beautiful. Now, like, I'm gonna do a lot of the good and then bad and good and bad. So there were parts when I was just like, I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. And then we had some of the dumb stuff. So now, for everybody was saying with Shia LaBeouf, remember, this is from a different timeline, but you always got to remember that Galactus, and I'm going to get into Galactus. Galactus is before the multiverse and all that. So there's only one Galactus throughout all the multiverses. So you got to realize that. He can cross between them all. It doesn't matter. So, but Shia LaBeouf, Julia Garner did an excellent job. It's not Norrin Rad, but it made sense in it. It made sense. She's from, and then maybe since it's a multiverse, Shia LaBeouf is going to be back to Norrin Rad's wife. Norrin Rad is going to be your Silver Surfer. There's been rumors that Silver Surfer, Lawrence Fishburne may do the voice again, which I would like for Secret Wars. That would be legendary, and then we can get on with a new Silver Surfer, because this multiverse got to end. But there's a lot of things. So with like problems I had was kind of Sue Storm. She was great. I like Vanessa Kirby. She was great. Joseph Quinn, great. I mean, who's the guy that played Eben? Oh, Eben Moss, Baccarat. Yeah, he great. Even Pedro Pascal times were great, but the character, not his acting, the character himself. You see why Sue has to step up sometimes, because she knows he's going to overcalculate everything and make it too complicated for people to understand. So that's why she steps up sometimes and starts talking, because she's like, I know you got it, but the way you're going to say it, they're not going to get it. And we may not even get it. So I like how they actually made the Human Torch. He kind of was shy, then kind of like a playboy, but he really doesn't want to be with anybody. So it wasn't like he was being like, oh, I'm not. Yeah, he was still Johnny Storm. He was showing off. He was doing his thing. But I like how they made him like super friggin' smart too, because he's not dumb either. They're all scientists. And Ben Grimm, oh, great. Herbie was good. The robot, that was cool. I really liked Herbie. It was Herbie, right? The whole Franklin Richards arc and everything, nailed it. I liked it. Now, we're going to get into some problems. Okay. So we have villains like Mole Man in this, and I get it. They had to do these small villains and everything. And that's I love that guy as an actor. But what was Mole Man doing in this? And then I don't think you kind of needed him. You could have. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff like seeing Galactus for the first time was amazing. Galactus looked great. Galactus looked like Galactus. Now everybody's like, why is he that size? Remember, he can change any size. He's infinite. He's Galactus. Go look him up. He can do a lot of shit. Okay, the guy can do a lot of stuff. He is the big bad coming. You know what I mean? It's they're saving him. He's going to be the big bad. So, but with Silver Surfer and that and Galactus and in his ship, which is basically the planet eater with him, and he's got two. That was kind of cool. So he used the ship, and then he kind of the tubes feed him through his because he has that everlasting hunger because he has to eat planets in order to survive. It's kind of a curse, but yeah, you had that. It was so cool, like seeing him. But the problems I had, let me get into some problems I had. So yeah, I'm trying to think of something. There was some there. Okay, there was a bunch of them. I'm trying to get them like in line and in order. So Galactus could have been a lot tougher. It seems like he was holding back for no apparent reason. He's Galactus. I just smacked the hell out of the planet. I'm like, look, dude, if you guys, I'll get down to your size, and I'll give you kind of a fair fight. Like, or I could pick all of you up and then just take it to baby. Because he needs Franklin Richards. Because that's I like how they explain that he needs Franklin Richards when he does the scan of the planet and the Herald comes and then he sees the scan and sees that she's pregnant with him. The birth in outer space was pretty cool. Yeah, there was So it was. There's one thing when they're fighting Galactus that I really liked because you wanted to see how far Reed Richards can stretch. So Galactus picks him up and starts stretching him. Now this was pretty cool. Starts stretching him and stretching him, stretching him, right? It doesn't look big to you, right, when you're looking at it, but when you really think about it, he's stretching that dude like 20 miles, bro. like it's like it's crazy. I was like, I never even thought of that. That's something. Just overstretch him. But they kind of made Galactus a little all brawn, no brains, kind of a little bit. He was easily like fooled with stuff, which I don't know. They're probably playing into it, but he looked so good, the eyes and everything. But the way they were kind of beating him, it was like, I don't think you got to come harder than that with Galactus. You got to. Maybe he's just like, whatever, dude. Maybe he's in a mood. Galactus is probably in a mood. That's probably what it was. So the thing I had, some of these calculations were all off, like trying to jump the whole planet. So they build like all these things, but Galactus is coming, right? Because they go back. I don't know how their ship can go there, and they didn't create other ships. So like theirs. So then if Galactus is coming, they could just flee to another planet because it seems like they have a unlimited amount of money. And what is it, 835, 838, whatever they're at? Seems like they're all pretty wealthy. I didn't really see any homeless. So why don't we just build a bunch of those ships and leave? So they try and jump the planet, which I thought was kind of weird. Like, you're going to jump the planet to where? Because if you're jumping it, you need it on the other side. So have you put that thing on the other side? See, nobody realized that either. So you would have had to take those bunch of things, right? And put them on that planet in those exact things. We don't know if that planet's inhabited by something. So you could jump the planet there? That was pretty weird. Didn't make any sense to me because and like they had all this money and all the countries were building everything, and they yeah, I don't. And the records thing, he got the language from the records or recordings, so it's recordings from outer space, I guess. They really didn't touch on that too much. So he eventually learned her full language. He could talk to her because he kind of liked her, you know what I mean? Which I kind of liked. He was like, she's super hot, her eyes and everything. I was like, yeah, she does look pretty cool. But it was like, How did you learn the language? And then if he's coming from Jupiter, if he's already at Jupiter, so this is a ship, a galactic ship that can travel different universes, different dimensions, and all that. But for some odd reason, it's taken him a long time to get from Jupiter to Earth. So we have enough time to build these teleportation devices or wormholes, whatever they were trying to build. Oh, yeah. Wait. Yeah, to jump it. To jump it. So you don't think he would get there a little faster if he's already where they were at and he's already at Jupiter? I think he'd get there in just enough time for you not to build those. But he wants Franklin Richards, so I guess he's taking his time patiently. But I did like when he actually got to see the Silver Surfer, Shia LaBeouf, surf. So there's a scene where she's surfing against like the what do you call them? It's like fire and stuff, and she's like surfing it like waves. That looked really cool. She really surfs. Like it looks, and she's putting a hand out, and you can see it going like she's going. That I like that. That was cool. That was one thing we kind of missed from the one with Morpheus. What am I forgetting his name? Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah. So yeah, there was a lot of plot holes. But you were so enticed by the family character that you kind of forgot about some of them. But when I'm thinking, there's a lot. Like it's got its goods and it's got its bads. I know I've been talking more about the goods, but you have to go see it. Some of the stuff just doesn't make sense because when they come back and they say the price was too high, they wanted us to give up my son or my child, my son, and they're like, so why didn't you give him up? I'm like, what parent that has a newborn, unless you're insane, I don't know. There is people that probably do that. But if you really like, this is a big thing you've been trying for so long, you ain't going to give that up for nothing. They looking at that. I'd have been like, well, why don't you, how about this? Why don't y'all step up and give up all y'all kids? How about that? None of y'all can beat us. Nobody on this planet can beat us. Matter of fact, we could probably dip. We got a little spaceship. You know what I mean? Take my little rocket ship somewhere else. How about that one? And then guess what happens to all y'all? No, yeah, well, you won't probably even feel it because it's going to rip through this world. We can actually dip. So that's what I would have said. But like with that, and I was like, I don't know. But overall, it's a really good film. It's good. You know, Kevin Feige put his name all over that because like this is the first success. But now it's kind of messed. There's another thing that I don't like too is it kind of messes everything up. If you've seen the Thunderbolts, spoiler alert at the end, you see the new Excelsior. But this one had 3. The other one has 4, right? 4 fins for Fantastic Four. Because they're running on some mission at the end. Spoiler alert. They're running on some mission at the end. They dip from doing some talk show. And I think this is probably when they're going to come over, but it just doesn't make sense. We're not going to know. They got to show it somewhere in the next. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to connect it. Maybe we'll see it in like Doomsday. No, because I don't know. It kind of messes up the timeline. Maybe I'm looking at it. Maybe that's where they were going when they got the alert. So, yeah, maybe that's what it was. But another problem I have with this is you think Galactus wouldn't see Mr. Fantastic behind a control booth out in the open in the middle of their city. And then there's that warp gate thing or whatever, Stargate, warp gate, sitting there with a handle. He almost walks all the way up to that thing and then realizes like, oh, let me scan. That's not the real baby. You don't see that dude down there trying to set you up. And he's like, what do you call him? Clever bugs or whatever. I was like, come on, Galactus. You way better than this, man. If you're going to be the new next big bad, maybe since you got shot into that black hole, which Shia LaBeouf came through out of the clutch, out of nowhere, because she betrayed him because, you know, her and Johnny Storm had a conversation about her home world and all that. And he could see what it was like and all that. So, yeah, she came through. So she's probably going to get torn apart in that multiverse. Yeah, she's done. Galactus ain't gonna play that. He ain't gonna keep her around. So hopefully she'll show up in Norman Rad's universe as his wife, and that fixes everything. But like, you think he can't see you? Like, why you behind that lever right there? And why are you standing over there? And then why? Yeah, right there. And like burning Galactus's eyes. I don't think Johnny Storm's heat is enough to burn like intergalactic metal. I don't know, but that was another thing I had wrong with it. And then I'm going to end off with the end credit scene that I seen. That just it was perfect. It was perfect until one part. So obviously it's 4 years later. Richard's why am I forgetting his name? The child. Oh my gosh. Franklin Richards, right? Yeah, we got Franklin Richards, and he's grown up. Mom goes, Sue Storm goes up to get something, and then there's like a shift and a rift, and then she walks around like the fireplace slash TV. I love the 1960s aesthetic, so dope with futuristic. They go around, and then there he is. You don't see him. You see the cloak, and then you see the mask, and you see Franklin like kind of touching his face, but you can't see. You know it's Doom. But if that Party City mask is the one they using, that old Spirit Halloween mask is the one they using that he was holding in his hand, hopefully that's a working mask. Oh my gosh, we gonna have a problem. Doom's mask is dope, and that thing looked like, I don't know, that thing looked like some silverware. Like, what are those little the silver bread dishes? The saucers, the whatever. That thing looked like a damn frying pan. We gotta do better than that. Maybe that's the working one. Maybe that's the one at the time, and the one that we're going to see. It better look good. I'm telling you, Doctor. If you bring Robert Downey Jr. back, better look good. I'm telling you. But that's all I got. So go out and see it. It's a good movie, and tell me what you think about it in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. I don't want everyone to subscribe, and I do mean everyone.